So Anastasia, what is the difference between program management and product management? I asked this question because I think I saw on your LinkedIn you define yourself as being someone who wants to go into program management. We hear a lot about product management, but I've never heard about this first one. So from a careers point of view, what is the difference?
I haven't worked a lot as a product manager. I have heard things about it, but I have never really touched upon that side of things. So as far as I understand it is that the design, the delivery of a specific product, whatever this might be in a different company setting. On the other hand, like a project manager or a program manager, and the way I have experienced it is make sure that you plan and you deliver the different projects. So I think there's quite a big bit of overlap between a product manager and a project manager, like in the sense that they need to collaborate and to deliver the projects that are defined within the company.
Yeah. So maybe the type of management you're defining with program is just general management of sub-projects within a company, whereas within tech, I think they're usually referred to as product because you're usually working on a product and someone's responsible for a product.
We definitely have project managers in tech, and I see, and they're quite sought after right now, because the delivery of stuff, where whilst you ensure that everything is within budgets and within specific time frames, is a big angle and something that many companies are interested to achieve. So yeah, definitely there are product managers and project managers, but project management is something that is autonomous and out there as well. Like I think we hear a lot about product management, especially within the MBA, but where I'm coming from, like we didn't have product managers. We had our PM. PM for me is a project manager.
Okay, and you want to go into program management?
Yes. So program management is a step up in my opinion, based on my understanding from project management. So project management, you have like a very short-term view of what the planning needs to be, the resourcing and the staffing of a project. Yeah. But program management is a step up where you effectively handle and you handle different projects.
Yeah. And why is that the route that you want to take?
I am a very practical person. Like I want to see things being delivered and completed. I want to put structure and organize stuff and organizations, people, timetables around me. And I think this is an aspect that actually fits my personality. And it also gives me the opportunity to deal with people and manage people and be around a team.
Very short and concise.
Sorry, I've been practicing for interviews for so long.
Yeah, that sounds
so
like
now it's like I have the star appearing with my head all the time.
Okay, but what's the real reason you wanna?
No, that's the real reason. That's the thing that what I'm telling you is exactly what I believe, right? I've practiced so much in just putting it exactly in a star framework, in a very concise framework. So at the end of the day, this sounds really like interviewee, but that's exactly what I believe. Like I'm not changing the answers because I'm on camera, kind of thing.
Yeah, sure. How long do you think you might last in that career before you get bored and want to do something else?
You know what? All the different careers I got, they were quite broad in the sense that titles were something that you could fit in different like projects and different companies. Like being a project manager, I think everyone needs a project manager to organize the team, the company. So even if I get bored of a specific like context and a specific, let's say, eCommerce aspect of things, then I can utilize the skill set and apply it somewhere else. So, and because I'm a person that I didn't have a clear career path so far, like for example, my cousin always wanted to be a doctor. Since day one, she wanted to be a doctor, and that's what she went and did, and she studied to be a doctor, and I'm really happy for her. But I never had like a very clear career path of I want to be this, and I'm going to go towards that direction.
Was money never a motivator?
Obviously, having money it's a good thing in the sense that
motivator?
No, not really. Like for me, is progression and ensuring that I learn. Like a job occupies so much time of your day that I need to feel engaged, motivated, learning, and actually challenged as well. if you keep me engaged in that aspect, then I'm never going anywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, so going back into the topic of women in tech, unfortunately, I keep coming back to that topic. How do you see the UK as a market for tech and e-commerce, especially for women?
I think there are a lot of opportunities. There is a lot of emphasis around. There is a trend lately to support women and enable women, and I think that there are a lot of opportunities for women to grow. Like tech specifically, the UK is growing quite fast. There are job prospects, there are job opportunities, and there is a lot of support. I hope that is going to increase even more, so women can actually thrive.
Yeah, and I have to ask this as well. Do you feel like you've ever needed that support for yourself? And if that support wasn't there, do you think you would have been fine completely?
I tend to ask for what I need and what I want. Like, I'm not really expecting other people to hand it over to me. So I never really had an issue because I went and asked for everything that I was in need for. Like I'm expressing my needs and my wants. However, I understand that there are other people that don't operate this way. So having the support and having someone offering it to you by default is definitely a necessity.
With companies recently, overtly saying that we're going to go out of our way to support women and more women to come into the industry, do you think that will make a credible difference to the women themselves and also the companies? Or do you think rather than that, they should have relied on people like yourself who just go and get the things that they want?
No, I definitely think that the support should be there because exactly there are different people around that they need the support and potentially they will never ask for it. And what I would like to see a bit more of is the ground up kind of approach, because it's good to implement the quotas around the different businesses in order to promote women and ensure that there are women in the board level and as CEOs, but if you don't train women and enable them from the ground up to scale up and grow, then you will never hit the quotas.
Yeah.
So we definitely need to see that education coming first, this training and the positions being created so women can be enabled to grow.
Yeah, and do quotas work? Like, obviously you might not have access to data right now, but in your personal opinion, if you were hired just based on a quota, isn't that offensive? Like, I mean, I personally, when I hear of, minorities were recruited because of filling a quota, that sounds quite offensive to me, and I just wonder if it's the right thing to do. But what's your perspective on that?
I think definitely is a good first step. Like we need to ensure that people are there to in the board level or any kind of level to express the different perspectives and different opinions. Now, whether if it's offensive or not, I personally would prefer to ensure that there is representation, even if it comes from a quotas perspective, than not to have the quotas, then therefore no representation. And if I'm getting hired because of the companies need to hit the quotas, well, fine. I know that I will be working so hard to prove to them that, okay, maybe you hired me because of quotas, but I will work my ass off to ensure that I prove to you that I'm not only a quota, that I deserve to be here, that I am, and I will make things better just because I'm driving growth, I'm driving passion, and I'm bringing all the skills that I've got to make everything better around me.
Yeah. If a company hired me as a minority and I know that has just happened, I would probably not want to work extra hard. In fact, I would say, you've only hired me because of this quota, so I don't really want to prove anything to you. In fact, I just want to leave and join a company where I am actually valued, where my talent, where I am hired because of my talent, not because of a dumb quota. So I just wonder if it paints the wrong picture, because when I hear quota, I hear like quite a lot of negative stuff around it. That's what I'm hearing in reality. I mean, obviously, that's not the reason for the quota, but it is, in my personal opinion, it's saying that your credentials weren't good enough, therefore we needed to fit you into a quota to get you on board, otherwise you would have never made it. Like, obviously that's not how you ended up on an MBA program, right? You needed
Yeah.
to go through the same processes to get onto the program. So why do we need quotas to get you from, for example, an MBA to that board seat? We probably don't need it.
I'm hoping that the reasons that they implement quotas and they hire people based on quotas is not only because of the color of my skin or because of my sex. There is an element of that, but primarily they're seeing something in me and my CV and my personality. That's why they tend to hire people. So yeah, absolutely. The way you described it now, it doesn't sound particularly nice. So if that came to my attention, then probably I would have a very frank conversation to understand if the motivations behind my hiring were actually that they just saw a minority there, so they just needed to tick a box.
Yeah.
But equally, like, I always want to make sure that I deliver the best outcomes that I can and I'm able to. So an opportunity is an opportunity. I'll take it and I'll make sure that I make the most out of it, and I'll prove to the people that even though you hired me for, even in a case of just to tick a box as a tick box exercise, I should be here either way, that I'm worth it.
So you're not a developer, right? You didn't choose the traditional path of getting into tech. How has your career been so far without having that knowledge? And again, I fit that boat as well of being interested in tech because I think it's really exciting, and I know almost nothing about what's happening underneath the tech environment.
Yeah, you need to develop an understanding of how different stakeholders think, and they're all, as I have experienced it, of the project manager, where you're literally sat in the middle. You need to have different levels of understanding. So you need definitely to have the commercial aspect of things, where you understand a client and the client's perspective, and also an account manager, the higher management, but also the developers, because you need to speak their language and the account management language and everyone's, to ensure that the project is being delivered. So I think there is a place in tech specifically for non-technical people. Because at the end of the day, you need to connect different moving parts and make sure that everyone plays nicely and well together in order to get things delivered.
So let's go into your post-MBA plans. What is next for you?
I am hoping to stay in tech. I would like to explore a bit more of opportunities within like the metaverse area, like gaming industry I'm also interested in, and I'm also exploring opportunities in consulting just to see how things are being done from a consulting point of view, but with a tech angle. So tech, operations, project management are still all interlinked and very much of my interest for the future.
Yeah, why metaverse?
Oh, we touched upon the metaverse late last year when we started talking about it with a group of other MBAs. And then I did my global consulting project on the metaverse and the gaming industry, which even more sparked my interest about the specific area. I think there's a lot of growth opportunities within the metaverse and how the metaverse is going to be applied and utilized in the future. And since I managed to be part of it now, I would like to see where this new wave actually takes me.
During the MBA, what have you discovered about yourself that you didn't know before?
I realized, I remembered how nice it is to be around people and how nice it is to be jumping from event to event and be around friends all the time. This is something I had really, really missed. And during the MBA, what I learned about myself is how much I enjoy exploring new things and learning new stuff. So this is something that happened a lot during the MBA. And I'm very, very glad I took that step. Yeah. But definitely, like, being around powerful people, like, with great views and different views is something.
Yeah, is that something you didn't have in working in tech?
I think not to that extent, in the sense that we have people here from literally all over, and from different industries. So when you're working in a specific industry, you come interact with other people and different views and different companies and all that, but not to that extent. So yeah, that's definitely mind-blowing as an experience.
What has been your favorite moment from the MBA, a specific moment?
I think it was a class, the last class of organizations vs markets in Michaelmas, that I really, really remember very clearly, because we had such an interesting conversation, and I can't even remember what we were discussing, but the feeling was so great that all the people in the stream like participated in a specific question, specific area that we were discussing with the professor, and everyone brought in their own different perspectives and their different opinions and different backgrounds, and it was such a great learning experience. And it felt like we are just a big team that we were just discussing and brainstorming, and there was no like holding back or being afraid of expressing yourself. So it was just a great moment.
Yeah, that's really interesting that you mentioned that. Like, do you feel any level of competitiveness in the MBA?
I haven't experienced that. Like every person that I have approached to ask a question, to help, they have always been so available, so collaborative. So like, I will offer you my opinion or my experience. Let's have a chat. Like, when are you free? So I think collaboration is more out there than competition.
Yeah, why do you think it is that way? Because I think when I came across American MBAs, what I commonly heard is that it's a very competitive environment. It's full of adrenaline and testosterone as well. People almost fighting with each other like on a regular basis when you put, alpha personalities in the same place. Why do you think it's not like that and different here?
I think you have so many different personalities in the MBA, and also different people from different areas that are interested in different things. So competing with the people within the MBA doesn't really make any sense, in the sense that you're not targeting the same companies, you're not targeting the same future. Even within the class, the learning outcomes that are coming out from the different modules or electives are so diverse that everyone just realized that they need to focus on their own path, and collaboration is the way to achieve this.
Yeah. And do you think that the community angle is going to last for the rest of our careers?
I hope so. I definitely hope so. I'm personally motivated in keeping it going. Like, even after the MBA, if somebody comes around and says, "Hey, Anastasia, can you help me with this?" Absolutely, I will be very, very happy to have a chat, a call, a Zoom call, whatever that might be, or a trip to visit someone in a different country and just have a conversation. Yeah.
Yeah. On a meter of educational value on one side and people value on the other, if you had 10 points to choose from, how would you allocate those limited 10 points on the educational value you got from the MBA, or the value that you received from the people and the cohort?
I think it's 50-50. Like, you definitely learn a lot from the professors because they're all experts in their own fields. But at the same time, like, the people in the MBA are just amazing. So just from having a chat for 5 minutes with someone, you can learn so much, and you can understand so much about the different field that you didn't even think of before, or you weren't even aware of. And that's mind-blowing. That's such a great experience.
Yeah. Finally, what would your advice be to people who are about to pursue an MBA and enter a career in tech?
Definitely take advantage of the networking opportunities within Cambridge. Never say no to an opportunity, no matter how small or big it is. Network and just have fun. Like, enjoy the people in the cohort, enjoy the opportunities, enjoy going to the union, having a boat race with the punting team or whatever. Just enjoy the experience as well, apart from the learning.
Yeah. And with that, I want to thank you so much, Anastasia, for joining me today.
Thank you so much.